Welcome everyone to part 2 of my doll collection. 15 inches something. I put a very old cap, baby cap type of thing, very delicate lace with ribbon back here, just to display, and probably her original wig, maybe not though. It's a lot to it there, but I think this is one where I married the head and the body, and she's carrying a little doll herself. And so I got them separately. I'm not sure. I'd have to do some gymnastics there to see what. I think it's a cloth body, mostly all cloth, except for her arms right here. The leather, no, it's leather. Should have known that. So anyway, she is very lovely the way she is. So probably not the original wig, because I did probably got the head all by itself and then put the wig on her later after I attached her to the body. So I like to find rescue dolls, or, you know, something like that. She's not holding this doll very well. We'll say it's a doll, not a baby. And then this one is actually along the lines of the ones my friends gave me. I had her previously, they're not from them, or this one is not from them, but she's a little girl doll. Stands about 15, 16 inches, but she's the hard plastic in a cute little off-white kind of pinkish dress. And then in this one here is one that I remember getting. I did get at a yard sale. I was telling you I don't usually get them at yard sales, but this one I did. And I put the velvet ribbon on her. Don't know if she came with a dress or not. Very little doll, kind of reddish hair, original wig, I think. The 12 inches tall. But I got her, and we'll move over this way. That red doll trunk up there, which we'll see it probably in another video better, but I used to have a doll trunk just like that, and it had drawers in it and a place to hang the doll clothes. Many hours of playing with that. See, there's where you hang the doll clothes on that metal hook there. Such memories, but we'll go slowly. And so this doll, and I believe in a couple other little dolls. Yeah, there was another one. If I remember which one, I'll let you know, but they were for sale, the trunk and the dolls, and the person only wanted $30, so I said yes. Even though I normally don't spend, I know it doesn't sound like a lot of money nowadays, and it wasn't that long ago. It was only a couple of years ago, but it was a lot of money for me to spend at a yard sale. And I'm sure people have heard me say things like that before, but it was well worth it. Okay, so then we'll see, there's a couple dolls in here. This is a Ginny doll, and she's sweet. She can stand. If she can actually stand up, I don't know. Well, I won't try it because she'd probably fall off the table and break or something, but she's real sweet. This is good condition too. And then this one, and I don't know, She's kind of like a young lady doll, before Barbies and everything, but she's not, you know, like an ingenue or something. All right, then we'll go over here, and these are some dolls that I've fixed up. I made a little video about this one. You can find it in the playlist of dolls, but just kind of showed you what I was doing with her to get her to this point. I did run across the before pictures of her, which if I remember to put them in this video, I couldn't find them in the video I'm talking about, where I remade her, but couldn't find the photos, but I finally found them. This one is one that came in the trunk as well. That was the red trunk, part of that group of dolls. She's like a Dutch doll or something. She even has like the Dutch shoes. And that's her. And this one here. I may have shown her before, I don't know, but she's another one of my very favorites because my dad gave her to me, and I think he got her from his mother, my grandmother. And it's the original hair. I believe someone cut it at some point, whether it was my grandmother or, you know, maybe my aunt Gail may have played with her. I don't know if she would have. I had to replace the eyes. She didn't have any eyes when I received her, so I put those in. And they might have been original in the head. I can't remember, but they weren't positioned in her eyes. And then I made the little outfit with lace and ribbon. And so she's very, very old, you know, only about 7 inches tall. So these are dolls that I've remade. I got this head off of eBay and this one as well. And I don't know about, I think I might have, let's see. These two, can't really remember if I remade her or if she came like that. But I put this, let's see, I'll go back to this and come back. This one, I had the body, and it's not the kind of body you would normally see on a porcelain antique doll. But I don't always do things ordinarily. But I love this is all fabric. So I didn't make it, but I wish I had the pattern. I might use it as a pattern sometime. Not take it apart, but, you know, try and use it. But the hands are very nice like that, detailed fingers and thumb. So the body I had already. And I thought, I'll just put this head on there, and then I had some lamb's wool, and I curled it and put that on her head for hair. So that's authentic lamb's wool, which would be like mohair. So then I had these shoes. I had a bunch of shoes a few years back. I sold them all on eBay, a lot of doll shoes, and later I thought, what did I do then? Since I like to remake dolls, but at the time I wasn't. So the legs are jointed. On this is very nice cloth body. So then I made the dress for her as well, the whole dress. And I think it's hard to see because I'm so close up. You know, she's very tall. I would say maybe 25 inches tall. So this one, I also had the head and body separately and put them together. And I'm not sure where. I might have just bought them separately on eBay because they were, you know, sometimes people just, they don't sell them for very much at all because of that. They don't have the whole doll, right? So this is a, you know, and especially if they're not all in the greatest condition. So that doesn't bother me at all if there's some flaws. So this is a very old doll slip. And then the bodice I made. And then just put some of those little delicate flowers. Kind of like bridal flowers, I guess. And these are the old China dolls. And the same with this one, I believe I put together. Wish I could show you this better without moving around so much. Okay. This is a very old lace, which I can't put in a junk journal. It's too nice. It's like a slip, or I'm not sure what it was. I used it as a slip on her. And then another layer here and here. I layered these. And then she has a little shawl made from crochet work. So she's the blonde China head doll. And then this is the dark-haired one. Her dress has a story. This dress I made back in the 90s when I was making porcelain dolls. I made the doll for this dress. It was a brew, of course, reproduction brew. And it was sitting or standing. It was on a stand on a table somewhere in this room when we first moved here. Really, the doll was. I loved that doll. I enjoyed making this satin dress with the satin low-waisted ribbon around there, the low waist and all of that, and I just made up my own design without a pattern. But my husband walked by and brushed by the table it was on or something, and it went flying. And the head was broken completely. So the dress survived, though, and here it is. And I can use it on this doll. And so then this is just a little celluloid kind of doll, antique. Just liked her. I think I found her on Facebook Marketplace for $10 and thought I had to have her. Okay, so these guys have to go back so they don't break. Somehow I had room. Oh, that's because this one doesn't usually reside there. I better do this now so that We don't want any more accidents, because there was another one I'll tell you about when we get to that point. But one goes there, and that goes there, and she goes right there. Okay. Yeah, she can hold that book. All right, so then this one I normally have in this trunk right here, and I fixed up this trunk one time to make it pretty. So she goes in here. And I should say all my dolls, they aren't all female, so I do have some boy dolls, but and maybe the bears, a couple bears might not be. All right, so that leads us over here, and I'll move some things down. So this doll here is, or all three of these dolls I made. And I used to make rag dolls all the time. I'd sell all the things I made: rabbits, dolls, teddy bears, pillows, I don't know, hippos. Then went through a time of making the hippopotamuses, ducks, geese, all of those things in the 80s, 90s, and some of the 2000s. But especially, it made a little bit of income for me when my son and daughter were little. I could do that. And so when they were growing up, and get a little extra money, not too much, but you know, when you make things by hand, you don't get a lot of money for it usually. But this doll, this one here, I made a lot of these. I gave them as presents as well. This is the pattern here by Eleanor Peace Bailey. She kind of was well known back at that time for a lot of different patterns. Kind of got the glare of the light there because it's dark in here. And then it's another pattern of a kind of an Annie doll that I made. I made a lot of Raggedy Anns and Ann and Andes. This one I called Adelaide for my grandmother on my mom's side. After her my grandmother's name was Adelaide, and enjoyed making her. She has satin lined skirt and pantaloons, velvet shoes, and a little cameo there. I made the bonnet to be part of her. If you take it off, or I can't really take it off, so that's just part of her decor. And this one, I really enjoyed making these. It has an embroidered face. This one was hand painted by my daughter, who's beautiful, beautiful daughter, beautiful artist. And then this one, she painted as well. The redhead. I made the little outfit on my own. It's not what was in the pattern. I just made it up. I like to do my own things sometimes. But I have two. When I made her, I made 3 bodies, so I have 2 bodies all made up and stuffed that I should go back and just finish them, I guess. I'm going to have to ask my husband if he posed this doll like that. I don't remember moving these dolls so that they're like that. I don't know, maybe I did, but I came back in here after taking a break, and she's like, you know, she's like got her hand on this doll's head, like she's taking care of her or something. So here's the bag. It's a velvet hat with some real antique knitting from a antique hat, lady's hat. And then she has a jacket with a lace collar, and just added this to the skirt in the back. Now these over here, they are some of my outliers. The ones that I've rescued, and I actually did get some of these at a yard sale, which, as I do this, I remember a little bit better where I got some of these dolls, but we'll start over here. And I laid them down because I took a break. I didn't, anyway. So, some of the outliers are these 3 Bilo babies by an American artist, Grace Story Putnam. In the 1920s, she wanted to make a doll that was realistic, that could be cuddled by a child, and she patterned this doll after a baby she saw at a Salvation Army hospital, and she made the legs. Well, this one doesn't have that kind of legs. Let's see here, the short legs like this one here. That's the pattern for the body, and you can read about. If you look up the family story of the Bilo baby, you can read more about it and how it came to be and all of that. But it has a very sweet face, patterned after a real baby. And then there's another one. And then this, whoops, don't want to go down too hard there. And then this one. And I also have a head that I need to make a body for. I have a porcelain head that I made in that doll class that I never finished. But these all have regular bodies, though. And let's see here. Like that. But that's not what was original to the pattern of the Bilo baby. I made a very big Bilo, like a life-size one, and in the doll class, my dog wants to go out. So anyway, I was going to tell you about this story of another sad story. Was that one got broken as well, sitting on a chair, and my poor husband moved it, and it slid off the little doll chair and the child's rocking chair and broke. So that's okay. I probably have enough dolls. Like he said, I have a lot of dolls. Then this one, I think this maybe came in that doll trunk, that red doll trunk I showed you earlier. I think she might be part of that. And this, also a friend might have given her to me, and this one might have come that way too. These are not dolls I'd normally, I mean, they're nice, but it might have been in, this one could have been in the one Wilma and Ginger brought. I'm not sure. Another kind of a Danish-Dutch type of doll, I would say. I need to mend her clothing a Or maybe she has a kind of a French look, possibly, an older French look. And then this is a plastic doll. Then I need to fix her up. Her hair needs to be combed, and I was gonna put this dress on her. Have to iron it, and maybe make a pretty apron, lace apron or something like that. The lace pantaloons are cute. And then this is another plastic one. I think I rescued her from someplace, yard sale maybe, a long time ago. And I know this one came from a yard sale. All of these were like a couple dollars or something, not very much. It's a older, like 1920s, 30s, possibly 40s composition doll. Let's see here. Her legs are a composition and her body's soft cloth body. She does have a speaker in her, but doesn't work anymore. So that's that one. So this is a doll that my daughter got at a yard sale very reasonably. Probably didn't pay more than $5 for it. And so she's a rescue. I think she's a Bubbles or something along that line, like a maybe generic Bubbles doll. And she is composition, except for her body is cloth. Very quite weighted, and her arms are kind of bent permanently there. But she's a cutie. And she does have a place to sit in my living room area by the side of the couch. And this one here is a reborn that my sister gave to me. And I gave her one too this Christmas. We both got them from each other. And then she had the sweetest little face, and I put a nightgown on her from the 1950s. A rosebud print. You know, this one doesn't have the tie at the end, but they used to, like at the very bottom, you could draw a drawstring, and they'd be all cozy in their nightgowns, the infants, and then real babies, that is. And then the corduroy little pink bonnet with lace. So there will be a part 3, and I'm working on it. But this happened right in the middle of it all. And it's a plumbing issue. There was a slow leak that we didn't know anything about until it started showing up in our hallway floor. So we got this going on in the living room, dining room. There's the hallway. Sorry if I'm making anybody seasick here. But there's all kinds of fans going. I took that sound out so you wouldn't have to listen to it while I'm saying all this. But we're gonna be busy a little bit, and so there will be a part 3. And thank you for watching this one, and if you watched part 1, of course. But we will see you in part 3 as soon as all this is done. Bye-bye.